What if it was actually easy for you to see better results? Now, hear me out. You might be thinking that it's hard because maybe you've tried so many different diets, training programs. I mean, think about it. If you go to Google, if you go to YouTube and type in, how do I lose weight? You're going to get bombarded with so much information. It gets very confusing, right? Think about it. I like to say that's overanalysis paralysis. Somebody's in shape telling you to avoid carbs, right? You're like, okay, I should avoid carbs. They're in great shape. And then somebody else is telling you to eat carbs. And let's say they're in great shape. And you're like, all right, this person's telling me to avoid carbs and they're in great shape. This person's telling me to eat carbs and they're in great shape. Who do I believe? And so you get so confused, you don't actually know what to do. It actually, kind of stops you from taking that first step. I mean, there's millions of diets. There's new diets every single year, it seems like. And so I think that's the biggest problem as to why you're not seeing the results that you're looking for is because you think it's hard, especially once again, if you tried some of these diets or tried some of these training programs where maybe you failed to see results and what you put in, you didn't see the ROI. Maybe it's like you cut out your carbs, you were doing all this cardio and doing all this strength training. And sure, you lost the first 5, 10, 15 pounds pretty easily, but then eventually hit this stall. And you're chugging away, but you're not actually seeing any progress. It gets discouraging. So what happens? You fall off the wagon. You throw in the towel, you quit, you go back to your old ways, you regain the weight right back. Okay? I want to share with you guys what makes my life a lot easier, right? When it comes to being consistent. You see, I've been training now for well over 10 years. And I mean, obviously, if I'm traveling, vacation, anything like that, I'm knowing when and how to make adjustments to make it a little bit easier and flexible for me. But nonetheless, I make this very simple. And that's what I want you to understand, because when it's simple, you're able to stick with it long term. You're able to be more consistent. And it all starts with what you decide to do in the very beginning stages. Now, it doesn't matter if, let's say, you're somebody that's a novice, right? You're a beginner. You're brand new when it comes to your health and fitness journey. You don't really know how to work out. You never really tracked your macros before. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter also if you're, let's say, an athlete. Somebody that is, constantly training. You're constantly tracking your macros. You've been doing it for a long time here. It doesn't matter either. All that matters is one small shift. And it's a very small shift. It's a pivot. You see, the reason why maybe you haven't been successful is because you went from right field all the way to left field, right? You went from, hey, the guy that's drinking the beer, the guy that's, eating McDonald's, the guy that's very, sedentary, to, okay, let's cut out the alcohol, let's cut out all processed foods, let's cut out the carbs, and let's start working out every single day, right? So what happens? You go from over here all the way over here. And you typically see this in the New Year's where guys are like, oh, this is the year I'm going to make a change. And then fall off the wagon typically around like the end of February. It doesn't actually lead to success. And that's the problem, right? Is what I just said is this big, huge shift. This is the mindset that you need to have when it comes to anything. KISS. Keep it simple, stupid. So think about what are the small little tweaks that you can make. And remember, it doesn't matter if you're somebody that's fresh, like you're a novice, you're a beginner, you don't know what to do, or maybe you're an athlete, and I'll talk about myself here in a little bit because I have all this experience, over 10 plus years of working out and tracking my macros, and I'm still doing that today. And I'm going to share with you guys some pivots that I personally make when life throws me curveballs, because that's something you need to understand. Life is going to throw you curveballs. That's the inevitable. It's not like we're praying and wishing for them, right? Oh, I hope I get injured, or I hope something happens bad at work. It's like, no, but it does happen. And so where character defines that is like how we prevail, right, through adversity. What are we able to do? It's like pressure builds diamonds. So it's like when life is throwing these curveballs, are we too scared and timid to even step up to the plate, or do we still step up to the plate? Do we still try our hardest? And that's what I want you guys to do, is still try your hardest. So let me break this down in terms of, let's just say you're a beginner all the way to more advanced, and what are some things that you should be doing on that's just going to help you when it comes to long-term results, right? When it comes to consistency here, because that's the name of the game. Well, if you're a beginner, this is what I recommend doing first. Walking. Okay? If you're somebody that is not really active, you're not really, working out or anything like that, just start off walking. It might get very confusing trying to track your calories and track your macros and do all this, especially if you don't have an app to use. Now it's like you're writing stuff in or using Google spreadsheets. It's like way too much. Start walking, right? If you're somebody that's, sedentary, sedentary occupation, maybe you're behind a desk all day, you come, 45-minute, commute to and from work, you come home, you sit down, plan, right? Start moving your body more. Maybe that's walking in the morning. Maybe that's more frequent walks throughout the office, right? Maybe every hour on the hour, you're getting up, you're moving around, body weight squats, push-ups, something like that, right? It's a small little adjustment, but hear me out. Because you might be, let's say, in your 30s, your 40s, your 50s, your 60s, maybe even your 70s. But what I just gave you, that advice right there, that small little shift, is something that odds are you can probably continue to do for a very, very long time here, which means you're going to have an easier job staying consistent, okay? Now, if let's say you're a little bit more advanced, like, hey, you're working out, you're trying to be active, right, and whatnot, but you're still not seeing the results, so you're falling into the category of cutting out the carbohydrates or this fad diet and this training program and just kind of dabbling in a few things here and there. I recommend playing it safe, and this is the easiest way to do so, is just like record everything that you're eating. That's it. For one whole week, just record it. Don't even give yourself a goal, just record it. Just so that way you can kind of see like, where is my weight kind of trending at? After a week of eating, right? Add up all those calories, right? And obviously write this down, put it into a app or something like that just to make your life a lot easier. But all you need to do is realistically like add up all those calories, divided by 7, that's going to give you the average. If you realize here you're not losing any weight, then hey, start chopping away at the block. A small little adjustment. If let's say you're eating on average 3,000 calories a day, don't make this huge jump down to 1,500 calories or 1,000 calories way too big. Remember what I mentioned in the beginning, right? That typically what leads to most guys failing is they make these big, huge adjustments and it's not sustainable. So find out wherever it is that your calories are at and just subtract. Maybe 300, 400, 500 max. That's it, right? And play the patience game, because that's the reality in all this, is the patience game. But these small little tweaks can really help you out. Now, if let's say, hey, you're doing all that and you're still not seeing the results, right? Then hey, guess what? Let's go to another game plan here. Maybe try eating more protein. Take your body weight, multiply it by 0.8. That's going to give you the bare minimum protein that you should be eating. I recommend having at least 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight, but hey, increase that. I'm in a fat loss phase right now, right, getting ready for summer. So I'm having anywhere from, like 1.2 to 1.3 grams of protein per pound of body weight. Yes, this is a lot of protein, but hey, my body's used to that, and I find easy, convenient ways on how to easily hit that protein goal. For example, like there is this stuff called Clear Whey Isolate that you can get from My Protein. You can buy it on Amazon as well. I typically put 2 or 3 scoops into a blender bottle with some water and ice. I shake it up, right? And I'll just sip on that throughout the course of the day. And typically I'll have like 2 blender bottles, right? One in like the afternoon for lunch and then like another one in the evening time and sipping on it throughout dinner. Hey, it tastes like lemonade, and plus at the same time, I'm getting like 50 grams of protein right there. Very easy, right? Once again, very easy. And that's the plan for you on what you need to do. Is find these easy tweaks, find these small little adjustments. Maybe it is increasing your protein. Maybe it's getting more sleep in because that's something that's very huge. Maybe it's drinking more water. Whatever the case may be, it's typically these small little pivots that you need to make that's going to eventually lead to long-term success. Recently for me, I got some injuries. I don't know what I did in the gym, but man, my left shoulder, like the back of it, just tore up. I mean, I'm having a hard time holding my son, a hard time just holding things up in general. Like, it doesn't feel good at all. So instead of me just saying, okay, well, I'm not going to work out at all, I'm not going to even go to the gym or anything like that. No, you know what I do? I still wake up at 4 a.m., still part of my morning routine, and I'm still going to go to the gym. But maybe I'm not lifting weights. Maybe I'm just walking on the treadmill or going for a quick run or something like that, It's like, it's a small little shift. I'm not waking up because I'm dealing with the injury. No, it's a small pivot. So maybe we're not doing these exercises, maybe we're not doing these workouts, but maybe we can do this instead. Because those small little shifts, guess what? It's going to help you stay way more consistent. And at the same time, when life eventually does go back to normal, like how when my injury heals up, guess what? You're still in the routine. You're still building up the momentum. And that's the key, because you need to understand, right? There's two different games that you can play here. You can play the short game or you can play the long game, right? The short game is, hey, cut out the carbohydrates, do a whole bunch of cardio, right? Like, hate your life, lose a bunch of weight fast, but is it sustainable? That's something that you realistically need to ask yourself. Is what I'm doing today sustainable? Can I do this for the next year? Can I do this for the next 5 years? Can I do this for the next 10 years? That's why myself, I train in a way where, hey, I know for a fact I can do this years and years and years and years because I enjoy what I'm doing. I'm playing it safe, right? Once again, I'm somebody with lots of injuries, so there's certain exercises that I just don't do. Squats, deadlifts, because of my back. I play it safe, but I play it because I'm in it for the long run. And that's the mindset shift that you need to have. These small little pivots, small little adjustments that I just kind of shared with you, guess what? That's going to help you out tremendously as you progress more and more and more into your own health and fitness journey. So if there's one big takeaway that I really want you to understand is think about those small little tweaks that you can make. The small little tweaks that are sustainable for your body type and your lifestyle, but at the same time, it's keeping you in alignment with your goals. It's making it so that way you can be a lot more easier and having a better time being consistent with reaching your health and fitness goals. And obviously, patience is a virtue, right? Nobody got fat in a week. Nobody's going to be able to lose all their belly fat in a week either, right? It's a patience game. But when you focus more so about trusting the process, having fun with your daily habits, rather than the big picture goal, it makes it a lot easier to, once again, stay more in the game, stay more consistent with it. So I really hope you guys got some value from today's episode. If you did, give this video a thumbs up, leave a comment down below letting me know your biggest takeaway. And as always, guys, this has been Coach Joe with Heartletics.com. I'll talk to you guys in the next episode. Peace out, Girl Scouts.